Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well and studying well also. So in this session we will be covering all the farmers movement which happened in our country from 1857 to 2025. So that is, we will be covering all the farmers movement from pre-independence time, post-independence, and contemporary times. Okay, so pre-independence, post-independence, and contemporary times. And hopefully this video will be helpful for you to cover all the farmer movements question which may appear in the prelims as well as in the mains. I will try to cover everything as holistically as possible. So we'll start with the modern Indian history in regards to the farmers movement. See, if we divide the farmers movement in a timeline, so we can divide in such a way from 1857 to 1900s, from 1900 to 1940s, and 1940s will make one more division here, 1940s. This is all pre-independence. And why we are making this division? See, this till 1900, from 1857 to 1900, it was basically farmers themselves led this movement, as Congress was still in the infancy, or we can say that they were not able to mobilize masses yet in the national struggle, or the Congress connect with the masses had not happened till now, till 1857 to 1900s. Now from 1900s, what had happened is the entry of Gandhiji. Okay, so Gandhiji connected with the masses and led few movements also. We all know the Champaran Satyagraha and the Kheda Satyagraha, and in many other movements. He was also spiritual head. So basically these movements were led by the Congress. Okay, and from 1940s there were two movements: the Telangana movement, the Tibhaga movement. So this were not led by the Congress, this was led by the CPI, the Communist Party of India. Okay, this is the division pre-independence. Okay, so let's then post-independence. If you look at the post-independence independence struggle of the farmers post-independence. So basically we can divide it into two phases broadly. First was the Naxalbari movement. Naxalbari movement in the 60s. This Naxalbari movement is also led to the birth of Naxalism in India, or what we say, the left-wing extremism. And then second we will say the new farmers movement. So new farmers movement basically in 80s by BKU, Bharat Kisan Union, Shetkari Sangathan. And in this further division we can say new farmers movement 2.0 in 2020. We all know the farmers protested against the 3 bills. Okay, and further, so new farmers, I will say new farmers 2.1. See, it continued, like we all know, the Prime Minister apologized and took back the 3 bills. But again the protest started in 2024 with demands of MSP, etc. We'll discuss in detail. So this is the contemporary movements. New farmers 2.0 and 2.1. See, one difference you should note with respect to farmers movement. All the farmers movement from 1857 till the 60s, these all movements were by the poor and marginal farmers. Okay, poor and marginal farmers. Now the new farmers movement is by the rich farmers, and the rich farmers, basically the beneficiaries of green revolution. They were not poor and marginal farmers. So this is the difference here. So till 60s it was, from 1857 to 1960 it was all poor and marginal farmers. Okay, this division is clear now. 1857 to 1900, farmers movement, farmers themselves were leading, because there was no one to guide them, no specific organization to guide them, and it was not a big mass based movement, and connect with the national struggle was not there. So when Gandhiji's entry happened, 1900s to 1946, Gandhiji led this mass movement and brought the farmers into the national struggle. And 1940s a distinction because it was led by the CPIM, the Telangana movement, the Tibhaga movement. See, very important, this all farmers movement is there. You go open past year papers, be it prelims or mains, you will find several questions on this topic. Okay, and post independence, this all Naxal Bhari movement. Until Naxal Bhari movement, all movements were by the poor and marginal farmers. And the new farmers movement, new farmers, this is 1 in 80s, then 2.0, then 2.1. Okay, so this division is clear, hopefully. Now, yes, see, when reading or writing on farmers movement, see, follow this matrix. I will say it will be helpful for you to remember things and recall things, and write in mains as well, and recall in prelims, etc. See, first you divide into this matrix where that particular farmer movement happened, why it happened, then who are the players, that is A versus B, who was A and who was B players, then who were the leaders, then what was the outcome of this outcome. So this read this or remember this in a structured way, where, why, who are the players, leaders, and what was the outcome of this. It will help you remember things in a structured manner, and you will be able to recall. Now let's write down all the farmers movement first, then we will discuss each one of them. See, from 1857 to 1900s, one division we had made. So major movements we are writing. Okay, so first is the Indigo Revolt. Second, the Pabna Agrarian League. Third, the Deccan Riots. Okay, now from 1900 to 1940s, this is where Gandhiji's entry happened. So here we will say first the Champaran Satyagraha, second the Kheda, Graha. This was the first civil disobedience movement by Gandhiji. This was the first non-cooperation movement by Gandhiji. Third, the Kisan Sabha movement. Fourth, the Ekka movement. Fifth, Mapila revolt. Sixth, the Bardoli Satyagraha. Okay. Now this were until 1900s to 1940s. Now in 1940s we had made one more division here. 1940s, these movements were led by the CPM. First, the Tibhaga movement. Second, the Telangana movement. Okay, so in post-independence we had made a division there. Okay, well, I'll write it down that also. So post-independence, so in the 1960s we had the Naxal Bhari movement. The New Farmers movement. So New Farmers. This was in the 80s, okay. And 2020 we had New Farmers Movement 2.2. And 2024 is more of continuation of this only. So New Farmers Movement 2.1. Okay. You see, okay. So basically this is what it is, all the movements from 1857 onwards. So this is the Indigo Revolt, Pabna Agrarian League, the Deccan Riots, now from 1900 with the entry of Gandhiji, Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha, Kisan Sabha movement, Ikka movement, Mapila. This is Bardoli Satyagraha in 40s, Tibhaga, Telangana. And in the post-independence, Naxal Bhari, New Farmers Movement 1 and New Farmers Movement 2 and 2.1. Okay, so but before we start discussing the movements, I think we should discuss some concepts, especially what is a Zamindari system. Dari system. What is a Rayatwari system? And what is a Mahalwari system? Okay, this you should know, then you will be able to understand holistically these all systems. So first, Zamindari system. What is a Zamindari system? See, the British government, we all know, was a tax collecting state, and the main taxpayers were the farmers. So in Zamindari system, it was not possible for the British to themselves to collect all the tax. So they started this Zamindari system. So British, here is the British government. So, and there was Zamindars. And here lies the peasants. Peasants are also called as Rayats, or the people who till the land. So this system worked in such a way that the zamindars collected taxes from the peasants, and this zamindar paid the taxes to the British government. So this is zamindari system. So zamindars were basically considered, in a simple parlance, they were the middlemen between the peasants and the British, and it was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. Who himself was a zamindar, where in Great Britain, England, the home, the Britain. Okay, so, and he considered zamindars as the owners of the land. So they can pass this zamindari from one generation to other generation to their children, etc. And peasants, royals who actually tilled the land, grown the produce, can be dismissed, etc., removed by the zamindars. So this is zamindari system. And where it was prevalent? It was prevalent in the eastern part of the country, the Bob part. You know what is Bob part? Bengal, Odisha, Bihar. Majorly here. Bengal, Odisha and Bihar. This is zamindari system. Now, what is the Rayatwari system? Rayatwari. Now here, the British government and here are the peasants or the ryots directly dealt with them. That is, there was no middle one. So British government, the peasants had to pay tax directly. The British government, whom directly means to the district collector, the proverbial tortoise on the back of which the entire British administration rested. So they have to pay tax to the British government directly. No zamindars, yes. Okay, and it was introduced by Thomas Munro. Who was the governor of Madras presidency. So there it was prevalent. Also western part of the country, that is Maharashtra, etc. The present day Maharashtra or the Bombay province. So this is Rayatwari. No zamindars, directly dealing with the ryots and the British. Now, what is this Mahalwari system? See, Mahalwari system. Mahalwari. So Mahal means a village or a group of village. So under this system, the British government did not deal directly with the individual ryots, but a village, directly with the village or a group of village or many villages. So the ryots here and here. So they will appoint a village headman. The village headman was responsible for the taxes for the entire village. So ryots will pay to the village headman, and entire village taxes will be paid to the British. This is the Mahalwari system. Okay, and where it was prevalent? It was prevalent in ND and Northwest Frontier Province. That is, you say, present day Pakistan and Punjab also. See, it was introduced by Holt Mackenzie. And was also later modified. Some changes were brought in by Warren Hastings. Was one of the governor generals of the country in British India. Okay, so hope this background is clear to you. Zamindari system. What is Zamindari system? What is Rayatwari system? This need to have some understanding of this. Otherwise, questions keep on popping while reading and while revising. Rayatwari, Zamindari, Rayatwari, and Mahalwari. Okay, now let's deal with the movements. The 1857 to 1900s. First was Indigo Revolt. Second was Pabna Agrarian League. Third was the Deccan Riots. Okay. Now let's deal with them one by one. First is Indigo, Pabna Agrarian League, Deccan Riots. Now, so first, okay, Indigo Revolt. Now, the matrix where it was in Bengal. With whom the stakeholders? It was the indigo planters versus the local peasants. Indigo planters were Europeans. Okay. Now, most importantly, why now? See why. See, in Bengal that time, around 1800s, the indigo planters were who were Europeans, forced the local peasants, that is the farmers, to grow indigo. So that's why Indigo Revolt, to grow indigo. They were forced instead of rice, which they wanted to grow, because rice purchased more revenue. So instead of that, they were forced to grow indigo. Now, if anyone forces, many will raise. So cleverly, what these European planters did, first, we will give you some advance money will give you as a gratitude. You take money, advance money, and when money is given, they will ask to enter into a contract, some fraudulent contracts. So now they become trapped. Okay, so now you've taken money, now you sign the contract, you will be forced to grow indigo. If that was not enough, the indigo planters, the Europeans, also intimidated them, threatened them, by kidnapping, harassing their women or children, they were harassed. Also, their houses were demolished. So all type of threatening, intimidation was done. So this is why. So we'll revise. Planters force the local peasants to grow indigo. So by giving some advance money first, ask them to enter into contract, sign a contract. These were all fraudulent contracts. Then later they threatened them by kidnapping the local peasants. They are threatening their women and children, harassing their women and children, breaking their houses, and all types of harassment were there. So now the peasants got angry. They will, till how much they will suffer? Suffering started to increase. Now you need some leader. So 2 people came forward. See the matrix, leaders. 2 people came forward to mobilize the people. These 2 people were Digambar Bishwas. Remember these names, very important. Digambar Bishwas and Vishnu Bishwas. Now these two people came together. They mobilized the sufferers, that is the indigo farmers, and they said, we will not grow forcefully indigo. We will not grow indigo forcefully. Now, do you think the planters will agree to this? Okay, you said we will not grow, you can stop growing. No, right? So the planters now, they have to do something, the Europeans. So they said, now you don't want to grow, you have to give more rent now. Give more rent. And we will evict you. We'll remove you from this land. You will be not allowed to use this land. So increase rent and eviction. Now again what to do? So the indigo farmers said, we will not pay rent also. No rent will be given to you, and we will resist the eviction also. So these things were going on now. Okay. So after that, what happened? These indigo farmers, the farmers under Digambar Biswas and Vishnu Biswas, explored a legal remedy as well. So they found out that we can fight in the courts. So legal remedy will take. Okay. So legal remedy, but we all know farmers may not be as legally intellect. They may not be having the awareness of all the legal aspects. So in this regard, they were helped by the Bengal intelligentsia. Bengal intelligentsia means the scholars residing in the Bengal, the learned class, the educated class, intelligentsia. Okay, this Bengal intelligentsia will help them. What they help them in the legal drafts, etc. Plus publish their news in newspapers. Plus generated awareness among everyone. This is all happening, everything. So Bengal intelligentsia helped by publishing news, helping them with legal remedy, general awareness among the people. So now what happened? Now indigo planters realized that these people are getting support now. What to do? Getting support. Now also the government also took cognizance of the British government about the sufferings of the people after all this. So the British government constituted an indigo commission. Okay. So indigo commission now made some recommendations. First recommendation, that the farmers cannot be forcefully evicted. Cannot be forced to cultivate indigo. This recommendation was made, and also all the legal aspects, legal remedies should be explored to settle all these disputes. So indigo commission also sided with the farmers now. Now the planters came to know that we are left of nowhere now. So they started to pack up and they left all this area. And so this in this revolt, the indigo farmers won. Okay, this is the story of indigo revolt. Okay, so briefly again, see where it was in Bengal. Who were the players? Indigo planters, who were Europeans, and local peasants. Why it happened? We all discussed the story. See, the planters forced the local peasants to grow indigo, which was resisted by the local peasants. The planters gave them advance money and make them sign fraudulent contracts. That also threatened by kidnapping. Women and children were harassed. Houses were burned, broken, encroached, demolished. As the sufferings were increased, so two leaders came forward, Digambar Biswas and Vishnu Biswas of the Nadia district. So they came together, they formed, they registered, then they explored the legal remedy, where the Bengal intelligence supported them by publishing their sufferings in newspaper, generating awareness. They got then government also, British government took cognizance of constituted an Indigo Commission. The Indigo Commission recommended farmers cannot be forced, explore the legal remedy, and the indigo planters left. So the farmers were not cultivating indigo. So this is Indigo Revolt. See, this Indigo Revolt is different from another similar movement, the Champaran movement, where there also the farmers were forced to cultivate indigo. Okay. Okay, now let's come to the second movement in this phase, Pabna. Agrarian League. Now again, the matrix. What is the matrix? Where? Here again in Bengal, particularly Eastern Bengal. Who are the players? See, these players etc. using in general parlance is for your understanding. So who are the players here? Players were the zamindars. Versus the peasants, the ryots, the local farmers, the local, I guess, not local. These were also local only. Zamindars were also local, so it can't be local. So zamindars versus the farmers, the peasants. Okay. Now why? See why. Why is important? So the zamindars were asking the local peasants for enhance rents, increase their rents, which was beyond legal means, legal limits. Beyond legal limits, you have to give those rents beyond legal limits. This was one. And there was an Occupancy Act of Act 10. Act 10, Occupancy Act, under which the farmers can get occupancy rights. Can have occupancy rights. So these zamindars prevented this farmers from the occupancy rights by way of, again, that threatening etc., by forceful eviction, stealing their cattle, and most importantly, filing cases against them, legal cases against the farmers. So this was the main remedy. So legal cases. The farmers that time not much educated. We all know what was the situation of India during the British time. Literacy level was very low, so they get scared. So now what to do? Now the farmers in the Yusuf Shahi Pargana, Yusuf Shahi Pargana, So many cases were filed. They were asked to pay higher rents, not provided occupancy rights. This farmers from here, Yusuf Shahi Pargana in the Pabna district, in Bengal formed a league, came together and formed a league. Hence the Pabna League revolt. Okay. Now they formed a league here to form the league against this, against increasing rents and occupancy rights. And they thought, we'll fight. So many legal cases were being filed, so we will fight them legally. Now legally, we all discussed that farmers may not be aware about the legal aspects, so the Bengal intelligentsia supported them. Bengal intelligentsia here also came in their support. So names are mentioned here. So 3 prominent names were there. So first was R.C. Dutt, the Bengal intelligentsia. Okay, R.C. Dutt. Then Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and Surendranath Banerjee. Surendranath Banerjee. He was associated with the Indian Association. You all know Indian Association, the organization before the Congress. So this Bengal intelligentsia came forward and supported them in the legal aspect. R.C. Dutt, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Surendranath Banerjee. Okay. Now legal fighting legally. Now what to do? Zamindars have to concede now. So most of the things were resolved amicably through zamindars were persuaded. And they stopped asking for enhanced rent, and also the government also stepped in that will give you occupancy rights. So they will occupancy rights, and also a bill was passed, the Bengal Tenancy Act. Tenancy Act was passed, which gave some assurity to the peasants, the farmers of the Pabna. And this way, the Pabna Agrarian League was successful in getting in letting the British meet their demands. Okay, British like the zamindars. Basically, it was against the zamindars. Okay, so this is brief. Not much to talk about in Pabna Agrarian League. So again, Pabna Agrarian League, where in Bengal, the players, zamindars versus the farmers. Why? Rents were increased beyond legal limits, and they were prevented occupancy right, which were given them under the Act 10. And this led to eviction and legal cases against them, again by the zamindars against the peasants. So in the Yusufzai Pargana district of Yusufzai Pargana in the Pabna district, they organized a league to fight them legally. The Bengal intelligentsia supported them. 3 names: R.C. Dutt, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and Surendranath Banerjee. So as a result, zamindars relented. They gave some occupancy rights, also stopped the asking more rent, and the government also passed the gave occupancy right and the under Bengal Tenancy Act. So this was also successful. Now let's come to the Deccan riots. Riots. Okay. Now again the matrix, where it is obvious now, Deccan, that is Western India. Western India, today's Maharashtra, you can say Western India. Okay. Now, who are the players? Here there was a Royatwari system. Okay, so the Royatwari system was there. You know Royatwari system, right? So, and the players, see, it was see, British government was very strong that time. People were not aware about the that British government is actually responsible for our sufferings. Anyways, so it was more of the riots, that is the farmers versus the local money lenders. Money lenders. Okay. Riots versus the local money lenders. Now why? Okay, this is clear. Deccan riots. Now let's come to most importantly why. See what had happened. See in Deccan. Deccan, the riots, that is the farmers, were trapped in a vicious cycle. Okay, first the taxi riots means Riotswari system. We all know the British government directly dealt with the riots. So British government, so high taxes. Okay, now to pay taxes. Now, sometimes there were drought also, so they have to. These are the riots. Okay. Riots. So and these are the money lenders. Okay, wait, I'll explain. Lenders. These are the riots were trapped in this vicious cycle. See, they need to pay taxes to the British government, but there were many times, even today, droughts etc. happen because it's dependent on monsoon. Successive droughts, but they have to pay taxes. Now to pay taxes they need money, so money lenders were there in their villages who were generally outsiders. Okay, the Gujarati and the Marwaris, they borrowed from the money lenders. Now they borrowed from the money lenders and paid taxes here. Now money lender will ask for money, so again what to do? Keep asking more money, more tax, more again money lender. So this was a vicious cycle. They were trapped in the riots. Okay, now added to their misery, certain external factors also happened. So there were droughts, I said earlier, droughts, and again then something more happened. American Civil War. American Civil War came to an end. The American Civil War ended. Now, so American Civil War ended, what to do then? See, because in America also there is some regions where cotton is cultivated. Cotton. So when war is ended, so the people who are fighting war etc., or there is stability, so people will go back to cultivate cotton. So these Americans went to cultivate cotton again. So supply increased in the global market of cotton and the prices fell down. Now prices fell down, but British government wants revenue. What they did? So because of this, they further increases the tax. Land revenue was increased further by 50%. So now you see the misery. Now droughts were there. American Civil War came to an end. They went to back cultivate cotton. These people were also cultivating cotton. So supply increased in the global market. Prices fell down, but British government needs revenue, so they increased their land revenue by 50%. You bring from wherever you want to bring, you give us the money. That was basically the attitude of the British government. Now already they are trapped in the vicious cycle. So more they get trapped. So when you suppress people, there will be some reaction, and reaction happened. So here the cannot target the British government. British government, how will they target? There was no national consciousness also that time. So they started to target this local money lenders, the riots. Okay, so first, so after this all misery, they targeted the money lenders. Okay, they started to target the money lenders. Okay, now first they started to boycott them socially. So the social boycott was called on them. Social boycott. Social boycott in a sense that we will not buy anything from your shop. Don't buy anything from the shops of money lenders. Then we will not cultivate your land. We will not serve you. Serve you in the sense the village barbers, carpenters will not serve the money lenders. Okay, this was one phase, social boycott. But this social boycott also further led to some violence against the money lenders by the riots. Riots plus violence. So violence, what? They started to demolish their houses, burn their houses, enter their houses. So what they will go and do in their houses? So they are money lenders, so they must be keeping some records of money which has been lent to the peasant. So these people, the riots, when entered their houses, took these records, the deeds, and burned them publicly. Okay. So this was the story. Then further, so far, so burn them publicly. Now we all know Rayatwari is directly under the British. So British government suppressed this revolt. They were able to suppress this. British government very strong, and no national consciousness, national character was also not there. They were able to suppress this, but they also had a conciliatory measure also, that they wanted to please the riots also. So they passed an Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act. Agriculture Relief Act was passed. Deccan Agriculturist, wait, I'll write again, Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act was passed, which provided some relief for the riots against high taxation or anything. Okay, so in this way the British were able to suppress also and appease the riots also in a certain way. And also here too, the intelligence of Maharashtra supported the riots. So we can't say in this clear way that whether this revolt was successful or not. So this was one success also, we can say this was a success. So hope this story is clear till now of Deccan riots. We'll revise. If we revise again, see here the matrix. Remember the matrix where Deccan, Western India, Maharashtra. Players, it was under Rayatwari system. The players were riots versus the local money lenders, not directly the British government. As discussed earlier, the riots were trapped in a vicious cycle. This was a vicious cycle. High taxation, they will ask money from the money lenders, then again they will pay, then money lenders will ask money, so borrow more money, more tax, so trapped. Added to this misery, things happened that there was a drought, American Civil War and came to an end, cotton prices crashed, supply went up, demand went down. So the British wanted tax, so 50% more tax you have to pay. So again, then what the riots will do? They want to play Lagan there or play cricket. This was not system. Nowhere it's mentioned. We play cricket and Lagan maaf hoga. So nothing happened here like that. Okay. So droughts etc. happened, and so the money lend, so they targeted the money lenders. So money lenders will be targeted. They'll be socially boycott. We won't buy anything from their shops, cultivate their land, or we don't serve them. And later led to violence, demolition of records, burning records. Their houses were demolished, burned. And Maharashtra intelligence also supported them, and our government suppressed that revolt, but some conciliation was given to the riots by the Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act. See, these were the three movements before Gandhiji's entry. Okay. Some broad characteristics of this movement. First, they were highly localized movement. Didn't had a national character. Okay. And also there was no national consciousness. People didn't know that every people are one, that is India. So this was not there. Second, it was mostly related towards the economic policies. Economic policies. They did not challenge the system. That is the zamindari system or the rayatwari system. They did not challenge this entire system. Thirdly, they lacked continuity. They were very brief movements. Once their demands were satisfied, they again started to work under this zamindari system, rayatwari system, everything. Okay, and one positive aspect was that they were able to use legal remedies against the oppressors. The remedies were discussed in the Indigo also, in Pabna also, how legal remedies were used. So these were basically the characters till now. Now this all things change with the entry of Gandhiji. So now the entry of Gandhiji happened in the farmers movement, farmers fold, the farmers issue. So two movements here. First, the Champaran movement, Champaran Satyagraha, and second, the Kheda Satyagraha. As discussed earlier, this was the first civil disobedience movement by Gandhiji, and this was the Kheda was his first non-cooperation movement by Gandhiji. This was in 1917. This was in 1980. See, there was also one movement, Ahmedabad mill workers strike, but it's more related to the workers movement during this phase. So farmers, this Champaran and Kheda Satyagraha. Now let's discuss this both of these one by one. Now first is Champaran. Satyagraha. The first CDM, a civil disobedience movement by Gandhiji, 1917. Now again the matrix, where this is in Champaran is in Bihar. Now who are the players? So basically we can say the farmers led by Gandhiji. Versus the planters. Here also the indigo planters. Okay. As we discussed in the indigo revolt, but both are different. Both are not same. The indigo revolt took place in 1859. Okay. And this in 1970. Both are different. Now let's jump into why. The most important thing. So why this story happened? See what had happened. What was the system in Champaran? See, in the Champaran region, the farmers were under the Teen Kathia system. Teen Kathia system. So what is this Teen Kathia system? Teen means 3. So 3/20th of the land which the farmers will be cultivating, they have to grow indigo there. Indigo. 3/20th of the land, indigo should be grown. Okay. Farmers said, okay, we'll grow. So farmers are growing also. A problem happened there when the German synthetic dyes, were invented, which gave this indigo color to the clothes. Indigo color, most likely, I think it was used to manufacture jeans that time. I'm not sure. Levi's jeans was born around that time only, so maybe that indigo jeans. I'm just my guesswork. I have not checked. So, anyways, German synthetic dyes were invented here. So, German synthetic dyes cheaper, inexpensive, and growing indigo takes time, expensive, lot of manual labor. So, the prices of indigo dropped. So now the planters which were forcing the farmers to grow indigo, so they said that we will be at loss now. What to do? So the planters resorted to all those illegal means. First, they said that you have to pay higher rent now. Not only that, you have to pay higher rent. You have to sell indigo at a fixed price to us. Sell indigo, increase rent, sell indigo to a fixed price, and some illegal dues also were extracted. That this money is remaining. You have to pay. All those illegal dues were extracted. So they need, before they could shift to other crops, they have to fulfill all these conditions. So conditions were, you have to pay higher rent, sell indigo at a fixed price, largely a low price, and some illegal dues were manufactured that these dues are remaining, you have to pay. So this was the issue here. Now Gandhiji may not be aware of this all is happening, so there was one person. Who was that person? He was Rajkumar Shukla. What this Rajkumar Shukla did? He invited Gandhiji. Gandhiji, please come here. Look at this issue. What is happening in Champaran? The farmers are really exploited here. So Gandhiji agreed to come to Champaran. Okay. So Gandhiji is a big leader. So along with Gandhiji, other leaders also joined in. Specifically Narhari Parikh, Mahadev Desai, Rajendra Prasad, Narhari Parikh, Rajendra Prasad, J.B. Kriplani, and also Mazharul Haq. They joined Gandhiji. Now, so many people and big leaders are coming. What authorities said? Authorities reacted now. Authorities said you cannot enter this region. No entry for you. Cannot enter Champaran. Okay, but we all know Gandhiji, very brave person. He defied this order. and said, I will enter. Will enter. So this defying the order and entering, this is what is passive resistance. Passive. This is what is passive resistance. Okay. This what is passive resistance, that is civil disobedience. This was very novel at that time. People generally did not defy the authorities' order to not to enter. So this was the first time civil disobedience by Gandhiji in India. So defied the order, passive resistance. Now, what to do now? Authorities. Now what the authorities will do? Authorities, they said, okay, fine, you have entered, then well and good. We will form a committee now to look into this. We'll form a committee. Okay, Gandhiji was a member of this committee. Gandhiji was the member of this committee, and Gandhiji was able to convince the authorities that the farmers cannot be forced to cultivate indigo under the Tinkatia system. Okay, authorities, Gandhiji defied the authorities, entered Champaran, authorities reacted, okay, we'll form a committee. So committee, Gandhiji was also a member of the committee, and Gandhiji said that you cannot force the farmers to grow indigo under Tinkatia, that is 320th line. Okay. Also Gandhiji also made a demand that all the illegal dues which was collected should be refunded. Okay. But okay, then committee outcome was this was agreed, but here some amendments were there. Planters said we will return 25% of the illegal dues collected. So compromise was struck, the demand was agreed, and the planters left the region within a decade. So this exploitation stopped. Okay, this was the Champaran movement. Let's dwell into it, revise a bit again. See, Champaran movement, what happened there? There was a Tinkatia system, Champaran, Bihar, 3/20th of the land we were forced to grow indigo, but the German synthetic dye appeared, indigo prices crashed, so the planters want to maximize their profit, so they increase rent. They were asked to sell indigo at the fixed price, the farmers, and some dues were illegal dues, that this is remaining, this needs to be paid, XY payment is remaining. They began to extract. Now, very important person, Rajkumar Shukla, called Gandhiji, told him about all these things are happening. So Gandhiji, big leader, was joined by more leaders, Narhari Parikh, Mahadev Desai, Rajendra Prasad, J.B. Kriplani, Mazharul Haq, and authorities gave an order, you cannot enter, but Gandhiji said, I will enter. So this was passive resistance, CDM. Authorities formed a committee, Gandhiji member. Gandhiji was able to convince that forceful indigo cannot happen, and as a compromise, also 25% of the dues will be returned. And this was Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, now let's move further. The second was the Kheda Satyagraha. Here again. Now, where is this Kheda? Kheda is in Gujarat. Here, who are the players? The players were the local farmers led by Gandhiji and other leaders versus the authorities, the British government. Authorities, the immediate authorities, not the ultimate, that is the British government. This was Gandhiji was more of a spiritual head of this movement. The real leaders were led, the movement was in reality led by Sardar Patel. Okay, these were the players. Now let's come to why. Why this happened. Why this happened? See, Khera district in Gujarat faced drought. There were droughts in the Khera district. Okay. So whenever there was a drought, there was one code. According to the code, if the produce is less than 1/4, that is 25%. Drought, when the drought, there was a code that produce was less than 1/4, that is 25%. Then the farmers are entitled for remission. That is, that year's taxes should not be paid. They were entitled to remission. Okay, then drought happened that year, so give us the remission. So don't take taxes. So the people came together. Okay, they submitted their request to authorities for this remission. Lagaan maaf kar do. Okay, but authorities said no, you have to pay taxes. You will have to pay taxes. Your revenue won't be forgone. Now Gandhiji, who was the spiritual leader, said no, don't pay taxes. So don't pay taxes. This call was what? This was non-cooperation. First non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation, not cooperation with the authorities. That is, they say pay taxes. You see, Gandhiji said don't pay taxes. So other leaders were, like said, Gandhiji was a spiritual leader. The main leaders were Sardar Patel. The main leaders were Sardar Patel. And some more leaders were there, like Pandya. Mohanlal Pandya, Ravi Vyas, and also Narhari Parikh, like he was there in Champaran also, Narhari Parikh. So these were the other leaders also. Now what they did, Gandhiji gave call, don't pay taxes. So these all leaders went to villages, village after village, telling the message of Gandhiji that you should not pay taxes. Started mobilizing people that don't pay taxes, no taxes should be tipped until the assessment for that year is forgone. Now you think government will agree? No, government did not agree. Government then again resorted to other means, said that we will evict you. We will evict you from this land if you don't pay taxes, and rents will now further be increased. Now people may start panicking now, the farmers, but the farmers remain united. and government also started to evict people. Still, the farmers did not panic. They remained united under the leadership of Sardar Patel. So did not panic. Lands were evicted. Also, the farmers also started socially boycotting those people who were purchasing these evicted lands. Okay, so they remained united. They did not panic. So people started to people all over the Gujarat started to develop sympathy for them evicted land, and government also some morality kept in. Someday moral conscience must have risen for the government, rose for the government. They also said they agreed to a compromise that okay then we will suspend the taxes, the revenue which you have to give for the year of 1919. So this was suspended, and also we will for the next year also we will reduce. So Lagan was suspended for that year. The next year Lagan was also reduced. See, it is taxes. Okay, don't use the word Lagan in the exam. It is for your understanding. Okay. So this happened then. Yes, the victory happened. The year 2, the farmers and led by Sardar Patel and spiritual Gandhiji were successful. Now, but the most important thing of this movement is that there was a national awakening. And people came to realize that unless we throw the British government, people, especially farmers, if British government unless is thrown, our sufferings will never come to an end. This was the most important achievement of the Gandhian-led farmers movement. Okay. Oh, okay, so Kheda is clear. Like the matrix where it is in Kheda district of is in Gujarat, and the players were Gandhiji, spiritual head, and farmers versus the authorities. And what was the issue? That there was a drought. So when there is a drought, there was a code which said when the produce is less than 1/4, that is 25%. So the farmers are entitled for remission. That is that year's revenue will be forward. But the government did not agree for this, and they said you have to pay taxes. So Gandhiji jumped in the scene. Gandhiji came into the scene and said no, don't pay taxes. And he was more of a spiritual head. And other leaders like Sardar Patel, Mohanlal Pandya, Ravi Vyas led this movement. They went to village after village asking people not to pay taxes. And then government again retaliated by saying that we will evict you. But but good thing is that the farmers did not panic, maintained unity, trusted Sardar Patel, and so government and also public sympathy started for the farmers whose land was evicted. So public pressure, moral conscience happened to grow in the British, and they said, okay, don't pay taxes, we will suspend the revenue for that year, and next year we also reduce. And this led to some national awakening. People came to realize that yes, the main problem is the British, not the system, not the some particular authorities, and you have to overthrow the British. So in this way, and with this two movement, Gandhiji was able to bring masses into the national struggle, especially the farmers, and it was a national awakening also happened. So let's discuss further with the Kisan Sabha movement now. So we will discuss the Kisan Sabha movement. In fact, we will discuss the 4 movements en bloc, because these movements were largely had a Congress influence or wholly were led by the Congress. First is the Kisan Sabha movement. And second is the Ekka movement. Third, the Mapila revolt. Mapila revolt. Fourth, the Bardoli Satyagraha. The Bardoli Satyagraha. Okay. So let's discuss these four movements one by one. So first, Kisan Sabha movement. Kisan Sabha movement. Now, Kisan Sabha movement, the matrix, hope you remember, where this is largely in the United Province, particularly Awadh region. Okay, against whom the players, the peasants versus the landlords, also the talukdars, what they called dars. Okay, and also against largely the government also. Okay, so these were the players. Now most importantly, why this movement happened. See, after the revolt of 1857, the Awadh talukdars got back their land. Okay, so now they got back their land, so they need to maximize revenue, so they resorted to some measures, illegal measures. First, bed khali. Second, high rents. Third, illegal levies. Fourth, also the practice of Nazrana. Bed khali means summary eviction. Now what is this bed khali? Bed khali means summary eviction. Okay, now suppose the talukdar is Ramlal. Okay, so Ramlal is a talukdar, landlord. He wants to get his land tilled, so he will hire one peasant. Suppose his name is Sohan Lal. Okay, this is his land. He say, okay, Sohan Lal, you till this land and give me money. So Sohan Lal agrees. So Sohan Lal then plants some seeds here. Plows this land, plants the seeds. Seeds are planted. Now it's time to harvest. Crops will grow and he will cut the crops and sell it to the market. But when the harvest season comes, Ramlal will say, now you get out. I don't need your services. But Sohan Lal will say, I have invested so much. Seeds are plowed, seeds are planted, plowed. Now crop is there. It's time for me to sustain my family, and you're telling me to get out from here. So this is what is summary eviction. So Ramlal further says, okay, if you want to continue, then now pay high rents here, and some high illegal levies you have to dues, you have to give more. Not just this, when I come to see you, you should offer me some Nazrana, some gifts or anything you have to offer. Now what will Sohan Lal will do? He have to agree. So this was the system prevalent in UP. Okay, so now add to this, if these miseries were not enough, then World War I. Now when war happens, we all know prices go up, inflation So conditions of many farmers like Sohan Lal becomes very oppressive. Now things are getting worse. Now what to do? So hope you remember during World War One, Home Rule League was also taking place. So some home rule activists came and set up Kisan Sabhas. So the name Kisan Sabha movement. Certain Kisan Sabhas were nothing but a avenue where mass meetings will be held. Lot of farmers like Sohan Lal will come and mass meetings were held. So in UP, Kisan Sabhas were set up around 450 in the entire UP. UP means United Province that time, not Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so 450 around Kisan Sabhas were held. So now such mass level things are happening. Some leaders must be there. Yes, few leaders. You should remember their names. First, Gauri Shankar Mishra. Gauri Shankar Mishra. Okay. Second, Indira Dwivedi. Third, Jhinguri Singh. Fourth, now one more leader, remember his name, Baba Ramchandra. Baba Ramchandra. What this Baba Ramchandra did? He invited Nehru to come to this Kisan Sabhas. So Nehru did come. Nehru was able to connect with the farmers as well. Connect with the farmers. So mass connect of the national leader happened with the farmers. Who invited him? Baba Ramchandra. Okay. So okay, things are going well now, but we all know national leaders, local leaders, differences arose. Differences between national leaders and local leaders arose. It's increased. Okay, so differences increase. So now the people of Awadh, local people, set up their own league, Awadh Kisan Sabha. Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up because differences happened. Now Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up. Now Kisan Sabha, yes, the resolution they took, no bed khali will be done. No bed khali. No hari and begar will be performed. Hari and begar is nothing but hari and begar was a system that the farmers, the labor will be done but no pay. So it was kind of free labor. So they said don't do this and don't do this. You take a pledge and also boycott those people. Boycott those people who perform this hari, begar and who were not resisting bed khali or other people who occupied the bed khali lands. So they too should be boycotted. So this was Awadh Kisan Sabha. Okay, fine, things are going great. Mass meetings are happening. But mass meetings were happening. After all this mass meetings and everything, thing took a bit ugly turn. The Kisan Sabha people resorted to looting of houses, granaries, etc. Okay, now this all things happened, ugly turn happened, and plus we do not have a national leader. Differences had arose. So you all know all this happens. Then government, the British government, severe repression, and the Kisan Sabha movement was suppressed. Okay, government repression due to all this. But as a consolatory note, they also passed Awadh Rent Regulation Act. To which partially address some of the issues that were raised by the Kisan Sabha people. So in a way, outcome was more or less government went, the Kisan Sabha a bit of concession here. This is Kisan Sabha movement. Okay, so let's look into it again. Kisan Sabha, where Awadh in UP province, Awadh particularly, peasants versus landlords, the talukdars in a way government. So talukdars practice of bed khali, higher rents, illegal levies and nazrana. So add to that there was World War I happened, increased inflation, increased prices. So the condition of many peasants like Sohan Lal further deteriorated. Now Home Rule League, Kisan Sabhas were set up. Some leaders led like Gauri Shankar Mishra, Indira Narayan Dwivedi, Jiguri Singh and Baba Ramchandra. Baba Ramchandra invited Nehru. Nehru got mass connect with the farmers. But differences happened between local leaders and national leaders. So they set up own Awadh Kisan Sabha. They took these resolutions, no bed khali, no hurry. Then the mass meetings turned a bit violent, looting etc. happened, government repression. But government also passed this Awadh Rent Regulation Act. Now one thing. See, this Kisan Sabha movement is different from All India Kisan Sabha. This is different and that is different. All India Kisan Sabha, you all know, was founded by Swami Sajjanand. Janand, hope I am pronouncing well. And the secretary was Swami Sajjanand, and the secretary, I'm not able to remember now. I'll get back. Swami Sajjanand. There was one also secretary. Okay, I'll get back later when I recall. So this is different from this. Also one, also in the Faizpur session, the Congress and the All India Kisan Sabha came together. They set up the Faizpur session, and the agenda of All India Kisan Sabha became the Congress policy for agriculture for the elections of 1937. So these both are different. All India Kisan Sabha, founded by Swami Sajjanand, and Kisan Sabha revolt, Kisan Sabha movement. These both are different, not the same. Okay. So now let's come to the second Ikka movement. Now Ikka movement, now where, like our matrix again, this Ikka some northern part of UP, that is United Province, particularly in 3 districts. Which 3 districts? Barich, Hardoi and Sitapur. Okay, Ikka movement where? Barich, Hardoi and Sitapur. Now who are the players? So Barich, Hardoi and Sitapur. Okay, yes. See the other. See, we were discussing All India Kisan Sabha. He was the president. Swami Sajjanand was the president, and the secretary was N.G. Ranga. These 2 people. These are this All India Kisan Sabha is different from Kisan Sabha movement. Okay. So let's come to Ekka movement, where the northern part of UP, in the particularly three districts, Hardoi, Bharuch and Sitapur. Now, who were the players? Players were the peasants of Harit, Bharuch and Sitapur, and mostly the Thekadars, we can say Thekadars, or indirectly the British government present. Thekadars, in the book mentioned Thekadar. Okay. Now why this happened? See, what happened that the Thekadars, or the people responsible to collect revenue, started to collect 50% more rent than the recorded rent. What was recorded? More than that, 50% was collected, and there was some rent collectors were kept by the administration or the government, who were called as Thekadar, and who were very oppressive also. So these were the two reasons primarily that discontent grew among the peasants. Okay. So now what they did, these people came together, the peasants came together and said, we are unitedly we will fight, and we will unitedly fight this. So the name Ekka movement, Ekta dikhaya, Ekka movement. And they came together, okay, we will fight together, and they took some pledges. What pledges they took? First, no high rent, we won't pay. No high rent, we won't pay that higher rent. We will pay only what is recorded, what is in the legal limit. That only will pay. Second, we will resist any eviction. Third, we won't help criminals. Criminals won't be helped by us, and also we will not pay high rent. We will resist the criminals, and also whatever issues we have, we will solve by panchayats. Through panchayats, we will solve all these issues. Now see, this was more of a nothing actually much happened. They just took pledges, etc. And one leader you should remember, his name was Madari Pasi. He was kind of leader of this movement. See, in this movement, they took pledges, stayed united, but government repression soon followed. Repression. See, there was no national leader also here, so they were not able to organize themselves. So government repression happened, and this movement failed, dissipated. So government here what? See, not much to tell here. Ekka movement. Okay, this was Ekka movement. Where northern part, three districts, Hardoi, Bharuch and Sitapur. Peasants versus the Thekadars, largely the British government, 50% higher rent. They were asking, rather than the recorded rent, what they actually should be paying. And there was an oppression by the Thekadar, who were responsible for collecting rent. So people came together, peasants, so we'll stay united and we'll take a pledge, no high rent, we'll pay only recorded rent, and we will resist. And will not shelter criminals, and whatever issues we have, we will solve through the panchayats. And Madari Pasi was the leader of them, one leadership. But this largely failed. Government came down heavily, repression, and the government fell. Okay. Now let's move further. The third movement in this category. the Mappila revolt. Also called as the Mupla. Okay. Now the matrix again, where we'll go south now, Malabar region. That is today's Kerala. That times Madras province, Malabar region. The players, the peasants versus the landlords. Peasants were largely Muslims, poor Muslim people here, and landlords were Hindus. See, I am mentioning this purposely. You will come to know why. Okay. And okay, most importantly, why? See here too, again, same way operation was going on. Oppression of the tenants, that is the farmers, the peasants. High rent, no security of tenure. That is summary eviction, like bed khali only, no security of tenure. And also illegal fines, levies, duties, etc. Levies, fines, fees, etc. So this was the reason why. Now this all is happening. Problem now, higher rent, etc. is there. So here now the Congress local committees were present here. So the Congress committees registered this and called for regulation. The Muplas, the poor farmers also got some hope. Farmers also were hopeful now something will change. Also at the same time, Khilafat agitation was going on. So Khilafat agitation was also there. Khilafat agitation, you know, Khilafat non-cooperation movement also, Khilafat agitation was going on. Now this big agitation was also going on. So few leaders, national leaders also came here. Who were there? They addressed the Mupalas. First, Gandhiji, Maulana Azad, also Gandhiji, Maulana Azad, and Shaukat Ali. They came and addressed the Mupalas. Now things are going well for the Mupalas, the small farmers. Things are getting politicized, people are getting aware. So movement tempo was about to build. Now British will not keep quiet. They'll say things are building up again, this movement will happen, we'll be red face. So what the British did, the government arrested all these people, all the national leaders were arrested. Now what to do? Now local leaders, the movement fell into hand of the local leaders. Local leaders came to lead, local people, but they may not be well organized, don't know how to take over the movement. So we all know British, very cruel, and cruel as in British, very shrewd people. So they also knew that this is largely tenants. There is a religious division. The tenant farmers are basically Muslims and the landlords are Hindu. So let's make this communal. So British policy, we all know, is divide and rule. So what to do, how to divide these people further. So what they did, there was a respected leader in that region, they arrested him, whose name was Ali Musalir. Musalir, Ali Musafir. They arrested him. The British arrested him. He was a respected priest among the local people. So British was trying to give this a communal tone. So they arrested him. Now obviously a respected leader is arrested. Local people will get angry, and they got angry. They resorted to violence. First target was the British symbols. So they targeted their vehicles, their installations, everything. Now once they targeted the British, afterwards they started to target the landlords, because the landlords were helping the British to curb this, were largely Hindus. So now they started to target them. Now no local leader also to guide them, everything. Now this all felt very communal overtone. So British were successful in dividing the people. So divide plus rule. Now communal tone. Now British highly successful in doing this. So they repress this. Not only they repress this, but also because of highly communal environment, these Muplas, that the farmers of the Malabar region, were isolated from non-cooperation movement. So in a way, we can say in a broader picture that the minority started to get isolated from the national movement. And we all know what was the ultimate result of this. Muslim League then creation of Pakistan and division of the country. This is all this communalism which began to rise. After that, it kept on rising till our country got independent. And see how the British cleverly sows the seeds of communalism. Okay, in this way. So the revolt also failed totally, and because of communal overtone, the Muplas were also isolated from the national non-cooperation movement, and things didn't go well. And so who won? The British won here. Okay, this is let's revise now. Mupla revolt, the Mapila revolt. Mupla where? Malabar region, Kerala, peasants versus landlords. Peasants were largely Muslims, landlords were Hindus. Problem: high rent, no security of tenure, illegal levies and fees. So local Congress committees registered this and said we will bring a regulation. So this Muplas got hopeful. Now there was Khilafat agitation going on. So some Khilafat leaders also came. Gandhiji, Maulana Azad, Shaukat Ali. British will not keep quiet, so they arrested them so that the movement could be curbed. Arrested them. Then it came hands of local leaders. Now how to spark communal divide? So they arrested their highly respected priest Ali Mulasir, and the leadership happened into local hands. The local leaders go haywire, attack the British symbols. The landlords, Hindus, were helping the British, so they attacked the Hindus. So the movement got very communal. It was able to the British were able to divide the people, divide and rule, so that the Muplas were isolated from the non-cooperation movement. And later things you will know that what had happened in the country in 1947. Sad situation, country got divided. Okay, so this was the Mapila report. Okay, now let's come to the fourth one, Bardoli Satyagraha. Now again, Bardoli Satyagraha, the matrix. What is the matrix? Where? Why? Players and the outcome. Okay, this way. So where? Bardoli in Surat. Bardoli is a taluk in Surat in the then Bombay province. Okay. So players, we'll write players first. Who are the players? The local peasants, the farmers. This was clearly versus the government, British government. Now we'll discuss why and the outcome. Why? See, in the Bardoli Taluk, the government resorted to increase the revenue by 30%. You have to pay 30% more revenue. Revenue or rent, land revenue you have to pay to the British was increased by 30%. Now we already discussed that how Gandhiji had entered the national scene. PM was able to connect with the farmers through Champaran and Kheda. So Bardoli is in Surat. So in the same nearby provinces, they were nearby taluks and district of Champaran and Kheda. So people were highly politicized there. And people were highly politicized and people were very much aware about this exploitation now. So they won't take this. So also local Congress was present there. So they formed Bardoli Inquiry Committee there. Inquiry. Okay, so 30% increase. People were politicized because of Gandhiji's rise to the national scene and the movements led by the people, led by Gandhiji. So they formed the Congress, local Congress there formed Bardoli Inquiry Committee and found that hike is not justified at all. Okay, so now movement is needed. So leader will join in. Who joined it? Vallabhbhai Patel. Vallabhbhai Patel came to lead this movement. So when Vallabhbhai Patel came to lead this movement, the women of Bardoli gave him the title Sardar. The leader of the movement, he is the Sardar. Hence, Vallabhbhai Patel came to be known as Sardar Patel. From now onwards till today, everyone calls him Sardar Patel. Hardly anyone refers him as Vallabhbhai Patel, or majorly people call him Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay. So now Sardar Patel came in. So Sardar Patel made a call now that no higher rent should be given. No higher rent should be paid at all. Okay. Also, we will boycott those people who don't adhere to things. Adhere to the call given. No higher rents, and will boycott. Or also, also a demand was made that consider this as the final rent, or you constitute a tribunal to look into this. Okay, so no higher rent and adhere to the things of boycott people who do not adhere to things. So no higher rent should be paid. Now Patel made a call. Now things should go down also. Down like it should reach the people. So the workers will take Sardar Patel's message to everyone. So workers' camp were organized. So there were 13 chhaunis. Okay. So 13 chhaunis, this is nothing but the workers' camp to take the message of Sardar Patel to the people. Not only chhaunis, Sardar Patel started a newspaper also. Bardoli Satyagraha Patrika. Bardoli Satyagraha Patrika. This will take messages to the people, and also he started an intelligence wing also. intelligence wing, that is intelligence reporting, that to check whether the agenda for the call given by Sardar Patel is been followed or no. So this all see the level of organization of Sardar Patel. Highly organized movement. So workers, Chhawnis to take message of Sardar Patel to the people. Bardoli Satyagraha Patrika to also through newspaper mass level reach, and intelligence wing to check whether the orders like the movement orders have been followed or no. Okay, now things are getting very volatile here. Seems the movement will succeed, and also add to their misery of the British, the railway strike in Bombay seems imminent. It may also happen in Bombay railway strike. It seems imminent. So here also pressure. Now so many things are happening. Now there was also some people will resign also. It happens now also. Something policy goes such that it oppresses the people. Many ministers also resign. So in here Bombay Legislative Council, 2 people resigned also as a mark of support. Who were they? K.M. Munshi and Lalji Narayanji. They resigned from the Bombay Legislative Council. Also, now things are getting really tough for the British, and at top to that, Gandhiji also visited Bardoli now. See, now very organized movement. See, now all things are not looking good for the British, and it is looking very good for the farmers now. Gandhiji now also visited. So British now came to realize that we are not going to able to do anything now. So they were looking for a graceful exit. Graceful exit. How to get out of this now? They said we'll give you we'll place 2 agenda. First you pay the enchant's rent. Okay, but you pay, but no one paid. And also we will form a committee. Okay, this was the offer by the British. Pay rent, enchant's rent, then we'll look into the form a committee and we'll look into it. But no one paid the rent. They did form a committee, and committee also, their own committee said this is unjustified. Rent cannot be increased. So unjustified, but it recommended you increase it by 30%. Increase not justified, 6% you increase and pay. So in a way, see, this movement was highly successful. Okay, so this is what is Bardoli Satyagraha. So let's revise a bit. Remember the names, in prelims especially it can come. So where Surat, Bombay, players, the peasants versus the British government. Why? 30% increase in revenue. People were highly politicized. Bardoli Inquiry Committee was set up by the local Congress people. They said this is not justified. Plus tribunal should be formed, etc. And they invited Vallabhbhai Patel. The woman of the Bardoli gave him the title Sardar. Also, Vallabhbhai Patel ensured that women too participated in this movement, Bardoli Satyagraha. So gave him the title Sardar. So hence Sardar Patel, now onwards he was being called. So Patel made an agenda: no high rent, boycott people, etc. So he will to take his message to the people. He organized 13 Chhawnis, Bardoli Satyagraha Patrika, intelligence wing also. At the same time, there was a threat of railway strike in Bombay. 2 people also resigned from Bombay Legislative Council. Who were they? K.M. Munshi and Lalji Narayan. K.M. Munshi and Lalji Narayanji also resigned. Then Gandhiji also came in to Bardoli, visited Bardoli. Now government knew that we are not going to win, so they were looking for a graceful exit. So they made an offer, you pay the rent first, we'll set up a committee. No one paid the rent. Committee said this much hike is not justified, but it recommended 6% increase, not 30%. See with these four movements, what one we can infer? See, some movements failed. Some four movements. What one can infer? Some movement failed, like the Ekka movement of also failed. Kisan Sabha also largely failed only. And Mupla also failed. But Bardoli Satyagraha was successful. Why? Because see, national leaders gave them direction, they led the movement. They led also the movement, they gave them direction, and it was largely peaceful. This movement failed, see, because local leaders didn't know how to lead the movement. Here in Mapila, we all know the leaders were arrested, then communism happened, and violence crushed. Kisan Revolt, there too differences happened between national and local leaders, that too in a way was crushed. Ekka movement, no national leader, no guidance, this also largely failed. So whenever there is any movement which has national leaders and highly organized, that movement during the British time largely succeeded. Okay, now let's move further. Let's move to the 40s now. See, 40s, two movement, this two movement, okay. So till now from Champaran to Bardoli Satyagraha. These movements, well, these from Champaran to Bardoli Satyagraha, the movements we have discussed, were largely under the Congress or partially led by Congress or wholly led by Congress, and two movements were wholly led by Gandhiji, the Champaran and the Khera Satyagraha. So 40s things changed. 40s the movements were led by, not by the Congress, two movements of the 40s, but by the CPIM, Communist Party. It was also the largest opposition party in the first Lok Sabha. Okay, so two movements, the Tibhaga and the Telangana movement. Okay, we will discuss this movement. So the Tibhaga movement. Okay, so the Tibhaga movement. Now here to the matrix, where it happened in Bengal. Okay, particularly northern Bengal. Northern Bengal. Okay, and who are the players? Who were the players? It were the Bagardars versus Jotedars. Okay, I'll explain who are these. Okay, don't worry. Bagardars versus Jotedars. Why? If briefly I'll outline why, then we'll discuss why in detail. So why? See, the Flood Commission had made a report for Tibhaga. Tibhaga, that is 2/3 of the produce should be kept with the Bagardars himself. That is the who actually till the land. I'll explain this is just in brief. Okay, and see, the interesting part is I told you like before, the Telangana and the Tibhaga movement were led by the CPI, not the Congress. So CPI, Peasant Wind, Kisan Sabha led this movement. It was not the Congress, and also it differed from the Gandhian ideology. Gandhian ideology. Okay. Now let's dwell into the why. Why? See, this was in the permanent settlement areas. Okay, so basically the same now, but there were a lot of jotedars who were taking rent from the actually sharecroppers. So okay, now wait. See, we know the zamindari system. Just a moment. See, no. See the British. We discussed this. British zamindars, and the peasants. The actually farmers. See, in this northern Bengal area, what happened? See, this system was there. British, the zamindars appointed more people, the jotedars, who will give rent to the zamindar, and zamindar will give to the British, and jotedars sublet the land to whom? The peasants. So hierarchy got a bit big with the coming of jotedars. See, British zamindars sublet to jotedars. Here direct peasant, here jotedars. One more intermediary came, and jotedars will give land to the peasants, that is the farmers. These farmers were called as bagardars, also adyars, also same word, adyars, bagardars, or bakchi also, bakchi something, bakchi. Okay, this is clear. Who is jotedar, who is bagardar? British zamindar, jotedar, peasants, that which are the bagardars. This was also not enough, so they were further trapped into the cycle, the vicious cycle. Jotedars, here money lenders, mahajans, they were called that. And here they were trapped. Who? The bagardars. We discussed this in the jotedars, high rent, illegal extraction. They had to pay some produce there, and they will take money from the mahajans on interest to pay here, and they will be trapped here. Okay, this plus this, and added to that, there was a famine in Bengal famine. You all know, very devastating famine in Bengal in 1943. So around 3.2 million peasants perished due to this famine. So very precarious environment. So in this regard, the Flood Commission had recommended that you give you keep 2/3 of the produce to yourself and give 1/3 to the jotedars. Previously it was half and half. Now what is this? I'll explain. See what situation was here in this Bengal region where jotedars were there. Suppose this is your land and you produce 300 sacks of, if produce is 300 sacks of grain, rice, whatever. So in this system, 150 sacks and 150 sacks. Before the Flood Commission report, half 150 will be given to jotedars and 150 the bagardars will keep for themselves. The situation got precarious and there was a Flood Commission. What Flood Commission recommended? Flood Commission recommended Tibhaga, that is 2/3. Now 2/3 to yourself. So 300 into 2/3, so which is 200. The Bagardars will keep for themselves and 100 will go to Jotedars. Before they were giving 150, now they have to give only 100. But they were not implementing this. So the entire protest was for, revolt was for this, to implement this recommendation of the flood commission, that is 2/3 for yourself, 1/3 for the Jotedars. Okay, briefly I will put it here. See, and see, Jotedars, they were supposed to give half first, half. Flood commission said you give 1/3 only there and you keep 2/3 for yourself. Yes, and because of all this, they see the situation was as such: Bagardar, Zamindar, Jotedars, then Mahajan, then Bengal permit. So because of all this, the protest started. So they said, we will not give you now anything. Now the CPIM, Communist Party of India, with its Kisan Sabha peasants wing, threw its all weight behind these people, the Bagardars. So they started to protest, and they gave them famous slogan, Nij Khamre Dhan Tolo. Dhan Tolo. Nij Khamre Dhan Tolo. This was a slogan given by them. Dhan, D-H-A-N, Dhan Tolo. So in a sense, this means that we will not take our produce to the Jotedars. Jotedars, we won't give him anything. We'll take our produce, our dhan, to the Khamre. Khamre means the threshing floor, where threshing of grains happen. There we'll take all or 100% there. No 1/3, no 2/3, no anything. Or we'll keep in our house. So this was the mode of protest. Okay. Now, this was all going on. Okay, fine. Obviously, we all know the police under the British supported the Jotedars, not the Bagardars, that is the sharecroppers. Police, okay. Also, the Jotedars were supported by Muslim League. Not only Muslim League, the Jotedars were also supported by the Congress. Okay. So the Bagardars did not receive the support of Congress. Bagardars were supported by the CPIM. No Congress support, no Muslim League support, only CPIM. Interesting, right? Because it was more of a communist and militant, not against the, not in sync with the Gandhian ideology. Okay, so this all happened. Now no support of the Congress, no big leader, all big leaders were here, very few leaders. So the movement got suppressed and it was not successful. Movement suppressed. And the movement did not, movement failed. Okay, this was your Tibhaga movement. Okay, questions have come in the past of Tibhaga movement prelims also, I guess in mains also. Okay, so this is Tibhaga movement. The interesting fact is Congress and Muslim League did not support this movement, and also it was all CPI oriented movement. CPI led this movement. So Tibhaga, where? Bengal, particularly northern Bengal. Players, the Bagardars versus Jotedars. We have explained who are the Bagardar Jotedars. Why? Because they wanted get the report of flood commission to be implemented. That is the Tibhaga. Tibhaga 2/3 share to the Bagardars. Here we have briefly discussed who are Bagardars, Jotedars and Zamindars, how the relation was. So they were also trapped in this cycle. Mahajans, Jotedars and Bagardars, money lending, excessive rent, exploiting, and added to that there was a famine in Bengal in 1943. Okay, and so this then we discuss what was the system there, Tibhaga, half, etc. How the distribution of grains, and they gave this famous slogan, Mij Khamre Dhan Tolo, and the movement failed as Congress and the Muslim League did not support this movement. Okay, so this is Tibhaga. Now second movement, the Telangana movement. This is the most revolutionary farmers movement that happened in India. We'll discuss why. Telangana movement. Now the matrix where players why, okay, where of course Telangana, which was a part of the Hyderabad state that time. Okay, the farmers, the peasants versus the Nizam of Hyderabad, and also later the Indian Army. That is, this movement spans even after happened even after independence for till 1951. Indian Army also, not the British Army, Indian Army. Why? See, before we discuss why, one system you should understand what was prevalent, what kind of land tenure was prevalent in the Telangana region. Telangana was under the Nizam rule. Okay. See, the land tenure in Telangana was of two types. See, one was Diwani or the Khalsa land, Diwani Khalsa, and other was directly under the Nizam and his nobles. See, Diwani Khalsa is more similar to that Rayatwari system. Okay, Rayatwari. Major discontent was here. The lands which were directly under the Nizam. This was the reason for the main discontent. These lands were known as Sarf-e-Khas. Sarf-e-Khas. Now, what is this Nizam land? What was the structure here? See, Nizam directly controlled this land, particular land, and the farmers or the peasants will till them. And some were also given to the nobles. Directly land was given to the nobles, and for in return, nobles provided military service to the Nizams. And these nobles were also noble lands were referred to as Jagirs or Jagirdars, and also Deshmukhs. Okay, understand what is this Nizam Sarf-e-Khas? One land directly by the Nizam under his control, and other given to his nobles, who will give in return some military service whenever required. And these were they were known as Jagirdars or Deshmukhs. Now, this was the situation. Now, under this land tenure, there was lot of exploitation, and also the prevalence of Methi. Methi is nothing that forced labor without any pay, bonded labor type, like we discussed previously, what similar to Hari and Begar. Okay, this was the exploitation taking place here. Now, exploitation was going on. These people started to resist, these farmers. There was some minor guerrilla warfare also. Warfare was going on. Guerrilla warfare that छुपके से अटैक करना, गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर. This all is happening in the 40s, okay, mid 40s or around 45, 1945. So resistance was happening. Things were on the boil, not boiled as of now, but were getting warm. Now there must be some trigger that will lead to explosion of situation. Yes, there was one trigger. Trigger happened when the Deshmukh's thug, Deshmukh, we all know the Jagirs, murdered one militant. They were referred to as militant because of guerrilla warfare. They were farmers. So this fueled fire. So this happened in the Nalgonda district. So this led to the emergence of fire, and things started to boil, and things started to spread, and spread to other districts also, specifically Warangal and Khamman. Some books also write Bidar also. Okay, so it spreaded here. Now this guerrilla warfare intensified. They started to attack these people through lathis, chili powder, and stones. See, these people were supported by the CPI. Okay, so they started to attack with lathi, chili powder, and stones. Nizam, we all know, will not keep quiet, so he unleashed a brutal force on them, known as the Razakars. The stormtroopers of the Nizam. These Razakars committed lot of atrocities on them. And the Razakars, okay. Now things were in some areas these people also succeeded. The peasants, they succeeded and formed people's committees or village committees. Around people's committees were formed, and what these people committees? It was kind of a parallel government they started to build. These people, the peasants, not the Razakars. Okay, and this people's committee managed their entire village administration, law and order, etc. Administration, law and order. These committees were formed in Telangana. Now it was like a state within a state, kind of independence, village committees, etc. Now these all things went on even till 1950s. Now India is independent here. One can't have a separate state within a state. So Indian Army was called in, and everything was crushed. Okay, this was all crushed and suppressed. Yes, everything was crushed by the Indian Army in 1951. Everything was suppressed and nothing was left. The movement got killed. But yes, India was a democratic state, independent state. So reforms were also undertaken, like irrigation facilities were improved here. Secondly, all the land which was confiscated was returned back. Also, the independent India, the state of India created a state on linguistic line. We all know, Andhra Pradesh then. And after that, we all know, one more state was created within a state, Telangana. So Telangana state movement has a roots here. Okay. So this is how the Telangana movement was all about. So let's revise again. See, Telangana, there was Shivar, Telangana, Hyderabad, particularly 3-4 districts, Nalgonda, Bidar, Khamman, and Warangal. players, peasants versus the Nizam, and later the Indian army. Two types of land tenure. For the Diwani and Khalsa land, similar to Rayatwari, and other was Nizam. Here, everything was the problem. Everything what the movement was all about. These land were known as Sarfe Khas. The nobles were called Jagirdars and Deshmukh, who were responsible for this. Okay, and so further, so they were responsible. Then the exploitation and everything happened. So the forced labor was there by Vetis, and which was called as Veti. Guerrilla movement was happening there, and the spark in the movement, the catalyst in the movement was the murder of a militant by Deshmukh. And where it happened in Nalgonda, later fire fell to other state as well. That is Warangal, Khamman and Midan. And so they attacked the Deshmukhs with chili powder, lathis and stones. And later then the Nizams unleashed the Razakars on them, who committed a lot of atrocities on the people. And the resistance kept on going. People, their guerrilla warfare. The present forms the People's Committee, who will rule the village, a group of village, and village administration was carried out by them. So it was a state within a state. India got independent. The Indian army came, crushed the movement. Reforms were undertaken. Confiscated land was given back. Irrigation facilities improved. Women's condition also improved, and the new state of Andhra Pradesh was created. And we all know later the new state of Telangana in 2014 happened. So Telangana state has roots in this movement. Okay, so we have discussed all the movements till independence now have been discussed. Independence, see the except from we started with Indigo Revolt. Then the another phase started with the entry of Gandhiji of Champaran, and then now another phase was from the Telangana movement and the Tivaga movement. Okay, see this, we all know they were not economic oriented policy. Economic aspects were the issue. There was no nationalism, national consciousness was not there. From here the things were different. See, till here it was Congress-led movement, and Telangana, Tivaga were different from Congress ideology. They were CPI-led movement, but they all had common. There were national consciousness was there, nationalism was present. Secondly, this was directed against the system, the entire abolition of zamindari system, etc. And also British were also the target, in that sense that the people wanted to free the country from this exploitation, from the British exploitation. So nationalism was present. Okay, now after independence, now few more movements to be discussed. Yes. See, now India got independence, and a few farmers' movements were also there. The Naxal Bhari movement. Second, the New Farmers movement. And the third, New Farmers movement 2.0, which is 2020 and 124-25. Okay, we'll discuss this in brief only. It was always in news, you look into it. We'll discuss this in detail. Okay, now let's start with these new movements. See, yes, till now, till Naxal Bari movement, this from 1857 till here. This was in 60s, 80s, New Farmers movement, and this is 2020. Till here, the movements were by poor, marginal and landless farmers. Poor, marginal and landless farmers. From here, movements were by the rich farmers, rich middle class farmers of the rural India. Okay, so this was a change. That's why the name New Farmers. New. Old farmers movement were by the poor, marginal and landless farmers. Now new farmers. Okay, let's discuss this one by one. So now let's discuss the Naxalbari movement. Okay, the Naxalbari movement. Now we are after independence. Now India has got freedom. Now some movements which were farmers movement which happened in the independent India. Now yes, the matrix now where players and why and the outcome. See where Naxalbari is a subdivision in Siliguri of the Naxalbari is in Siliguri subdivision of Darjeeling district in West Bengal. Okay, so the players, the tribal farmers versus the government. Okay, and why? Because yes, we'll discuss, and outcome also we'll discuss. Outcome is the Naxalite movement. It is the left-wing extremism which is still going on in India. Now let's discuss the why in detail. Why? See the Naxalbari area is a bit a different area. It's along the foothills of the eastern Himalayas, the Darjeeling district. So there we have tea plantation. Okay, and these tea planters or the estate owners were largely outsiders, and the people living there were the tribals. Okay, from tribals, few tribes over there like the Santhal, Orans, Mundas and the Rajbansis. And also a few Gorkhas were also there. So okay, tea planters, outsiders, tea estates and the tribals. Now see, because of this skirmishes have always been going on. Okay, but it was in 1967 that major revolt took place, or the uprising took place against the state. Okay, so they were going on skirmishes, but they didn't had a leader. But now in 1967, the CPIM leaders, two CPM leaders, Kanu Sanyal and Charu Muzamdar, Kanu Sanyal and Charu Muzumdar, these two leaders went there, Naxalbari, to address the grievances of the tribals. Now, okay, you're finding addressing grievances, but they did not adopt any peaceful means. Very violent and militant means they adopt. So this person, Kanu Sanyal, made some gave there's this demands we all have in collective. So it in a way he gave a propaganda to the tribals that we should achieve these demands. First is few demands, many demands were there, many actions. So he tasks, okay, we'll say the task. This task were given to them to achieve their, address their grievances. First was that see, land should be redistributed. distributed. Hoarded rice should be confiscated by the tribals. Also, all the jotedars there should be tried. Okay, tried is okay then, but he said everyone will be sentenced to death. To death also. So tried plus sentenced to death. Fourth, further, trials should be confiscated, jotedars should be tried and sentenced to death, and tribals, you take up arms, weaponize yourself against these estates and largely against the state also. Weaponize. So this task was given. Now task was given, grievances were there, situation exploded. These tribals started to kill people, kill landlords. Murders happened, violence erupted. Things are getting out of control now. Now the central government pressured the West Bengal government to act. You have to act now. So West Bengal government sent forces here to subdue the movement. Okay, subdue the movement, but the movement started to spread to other areas also. It spread to Bihar, Andhra Pradesh also. And this led to the rise of Naxalism in India. It's called as now left-wing extremism. It still exists, though it has dwindled a lot. The movement has broken down, but it still exists in Chhattisgarh and the tribal belts. So this fight is still going on. Hopefully the peaceful resolution will happen. Okay, so this is in brief what is the Naxalbari movement, what had happened. See, Naxalbari movement where it is in the Naxalbari in Siliguri subdivision of Darjeeling district. Tribals versus the government of India, the government of the state against the state. So outcome, Naxalite movement is still going on. Why? The tree planters, largely outsider, versus the tribals who were Santals, Zorans, Mundas, Rajbansi and Gorkhas. So leadership came from CPIM. Two people, Kanu Sanyal and Charu Muzamdar, gave some tasks to them. So this one or the task, murder of the Jotedars, they should be sentenced to death. Tribal weaponized and all hell broke loose. And this all happened, spread to Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and gave the rise to Naxalism also in India. Okay, so this is what is the Naxalbari movement. Now let's come to 80s now. 80s, New Farmers Movement. Now why it's called new? See, previously till now the farmers movement were by the poor and landless and marginal farmers till now. Now it is by the rich farmers. So this new farmers movement. Okay, this is new farmers movement. Now where see, largely in two areas. If we take a macro picture, so it will be in the northern India, particularly western UP, Punjab plus Haryana. Okay, there was also in western India, particularly in Maharashtra and Gujarat also, and also in some parts of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. This what now before we dwell into the why, let's look at the brief background of this region. See, after the Green Revolution, prosperity increase and there was substantially increase in the capitalist farming. farming, and a rich peasant class, farmers class emerged in this rural part of this states. So capitalist farming is that traditionally farm is produce is grown for subsistence. A farm here, capitalist farming, you have surplus produce that will sell into the market, and also the farms are big, so you need agriculture laborers also. Family labor cannot alone support the farming, so you need agriculture labor also, and also they have farming capitalist what machineries also have. They have capital machinery also, such as the tractors, pumps, water pumps, plus tractors, water pumps, threshers. Even they have cooperatives who lend money also. So this is capitalist farming. So this was primarily happening in those regions, and the green, specifically the Green Revolution belt. Now yes, one more. There was one organization, Bharat Kisan's Union. Bharat Kisan Unions was formed by, was one of the founder, was led by, you can say, by Charan Singh, who also went on to become the Prime Minister of the country. But after the death of Charan Singh, there was a vacuum. So Mahendra Singh Thiket took over. Okay, Mahendra Singh Thiket took over. So now he started the Shamli agitation. For what? What were the demands? Demands were, see, the government had increased the tariff. Electricity tariff was increased. So against this, agitation was happened at Shamli, and known as the Shamli agitation. This is a place in UP. So the agitation for against the tariff rise. So electricity tariff. So agitation was largely successful, and government did not roll back the tariff increase. So it was a successful movement. Okay, prestige increase of BKU. Now, then again they staged a protest in Meerut and Delhi around the similar issues, that reduced tariff, reduce the import duty on the equipments used in agriculture. This also you reduce tariff, reduce the import duty in agriculture, plus reduce the import duty in agriculture. This all, and also give some guaranteed prices to crops, kind of MSP. This agitation took place for 25 days. Highly successful agitation also here, and majority of the demands were accepted by the government. Now, this was a brief new farmers movement. Now let's come further down, that is in Western India. Now Western India, similar agitation. One more thing, the Bharat Kisan Union, one of the most important thing about BK was it remained non-political, and it's non-political even today, not aligned with any political party, and is not a political party in any sense. Now come down now Western India, there too similar issues of the rich farmers, and this agitation was led by Sharad Joshi, who was associated with what? With the Kisan Sangathan. Now he launched an agitation against low prices for sugarcane plus cotton in Maharashtra. Then his mode of agitation was Rasta Roko. Rasta Roko, he blocked majority of the roads from Bombay to other parts of the country or other parts of the state. Rasta Roko. Yes, the agitation was successful and the prizes, higher prizes were given. So this was a success. Okay, now later he again launched many agitation. He said that he will undertake many agitation. Went to Nipani. There are all organized Nipani agitation also. But soon his movement dissipated. Why? Because he made lot of announcement, but he did not launch any serious movement. Okay. Secondly, he supported LPG reforms. So the pace started to erode, and also he started supporting opposition political parties. So this organization vanished a bit. It also contested election, and now also it contests some election, and it had representatives in the assembly as well, Maharashtra assembly, even in the parliament as well. So this is a small political party right now in Maharashtra. So this was basically the New Farmers Movement. This happened in the 80s. Okay. Now come to now from 80 to 2020 now. We all know the farmers agitation year of 2020. New Farmers Movement 2.0. Yeah, we are against the new farmers because rich capitalist farmers it was led by. So who are the players? Now where it was in? Yes, we all know Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, that the agitation was held in Delhi, and also farmers from all over the country supported. Also the support poured in from all over the world also. Versus the farmers versus who? The government of India, the Modi government. The leader of the movement was Rakesh Tikait. Now, we'll discuss in brief only. You must be knowing all this. Now, why? 3 farm bills were introduced as a part of agrarian reform. Which were the bills? First, remember this name, difficult to remember. Farmers, trade, farmers produce, trade and commerce. Commerce Act. Second, Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Act. Second is Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Act. Second is Farmers Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services. Third, the Essential Commodities Act. Now the farmers were against these 3 bills. See, this bill was largely deregulation of the APMC mandis. That is, farmers now bring the produce to the mandis, and they from there the auction happens wholesale to retail. Said now according to this bill, not this mandi alone cannot have a monopoly. Other mandis also can be created. Private mandis, there you can also sell them. Farmers Agreement on Price Assurance Farm Services is more of a contract farming. An Essential Commodities Act, some more commodities like cereals, pulses, tomatoes, onions would be removed from essential commodities. So see, contract farming, farmers were not very happy with the intentions of the government. We all know contract farming can be dangerous, like it happened during the Indigo Revolt. First revolt we discussed, where farmers were forced to enter into fraudulent contracts. So the Indigo Revolt of 1858-59. First revolt we discuss in this session. So the Essential Commodities Act. Okay. So we all know the protests all happened. The farmers came to the Delhi borders around, sat for lot of time in the harsh winters of northern India. Around 700 farmers died due to these harsh conditions. And finally, the talks were going on with the government. Then government didn't agree. Then they came to the border. 700 farmers died. And finally, PM Modi apologized and rolled back the farm bills, and the agitation dissipated. Okay, demands were met. Now let's come to 2024-25. Yes, few more farmers again started to protest. Jagjit Singh Dallewal. Yes, Jagjit Singh Dallewal sat on a hunger strike more than 70 days, and their demands were similar. See, MSP for all crops, then implement MS Swaminathan committee reports, then pension to farmers of 10,000 rupees, loan waivers, and also investigation into Lakhimpur violence. So these are the broader demands. So talks are going on now within the government and the farmers representative. So these were all the movements from 1857 to 2024. See, we all discuss all the movements. See, before 1857, we discussed the Indigo Revolt, the Apna Agrarian League. Then we discuss the Deccan Riots. Now till 1920s. Okay, so 20s, what happened? Gandhiji entry. So two movements were led by Gandhiji. Which were the two? The Champaran, the Kheda, and later also the few more movements. Champaran, Kheda, the Kisan Sabha movement. See, these two were Gandhiji. Okay, these were by Congress or there under the guidance of Gandhiji, or under the Gandhiji's as a spiritual head. Okay, the Kisan Sabha movement, the Ekka movement, Mappila Revolt, then came the Bardoli Satyagraha, okay. So let's come to 40s now. 40s we discuss. These movements were under CPIM, the Tibhaga, the Telangana movement. Okay. Now India got independence. Then three movements there: Naxalbari, then the New Farmers Movement, and New Farmers Movement 2.0. So this is all the movements which happen in our country, major farmers movement which happen in our country. Okay, hope I try to cover everything in detail and as holistically as possible. See, while remembering or reading these movements, do remember that matrix where, why, the players, the outcome, and leaders. This will help you remember things in a structured manner. Okay then, hope this session was helpful for you. Okay then, thank you very much. All the best.